my name is Heroine Bob and welcome to Bob Buys, where this video we are going to shop my stash. So one of the things that I wanted to do is clean up and clear out and get listed my inventory pile, or as those of us in the reselling community like to call it, the death pile. I was able to make some headway in that during quarantine this year because of the fact that I wasn't able to go out and do any shopping, so I wasn't bringing more stuff in. And I have made a little bit of headway. I already did one of these videos, which I will link up above, where I gathered up all of my shorts from my inventory pile and showed them to you guys and listed them. So from the 13 I originally showed you guys, I found 2 more pieces in my car. So that brought that number up to 15. And then when I actually started to photograph and list everything, I found out that 2 of the pieces that I had in my stash were actually too damaged. They had stains on them that I could not get out, or they had like a little tear in them. So I redonated those. So my actual number is still 13. Out of those 13, only 4 have sold so far, but the 4 that have sold, I have made a net profit. So that is after all the shipping, the fees, and the cost of goods. I have made a total net profit of $66.02 from items that were in my stash. If you want to see what those items might have been or what the shorts were that I listed, I will link that up above. And as always, in all of my descriptions, I have all of my places where I sell stuff. If you hear a random screaming, that would be this little child here. Her name is Moxie, and whenever I sit down to film a video, she cries because she wants my attention because I'm not moving, according to her. So if I'm not moving and I'm sitting down, I should be devoting all of my time and attention to her. But what we were going to do today is, because we are entering the fall, is that I want to next do jeans. Denim, denim, denim. And I have a lot. So I've been steadily working through my DIY denim boxes from ThredUp. I have one of those boxes completely listed. I am halfway through the second box of listing that. And when that's done, I will be working on my death pile. So I want to show you the 15 items that I have from my death pile that need to get listed. A lot of this, again, is stuff that has not been in my videos at all. A lot of this is like vintage deliciousness from when I went thrifting pretty much exactly a year ago with my mommy in the Appalachian Mountains through Tennessee and Virginia. So let's get into this. So the first pair is a pair of Riveted by Lee. This is actually women's carpenter pants. These are like gorgeous 90s carpenter pants. I looked at them and they might fit me, and if they fit me, they're not going to go listed. They're going to go into my closet because I kind of wore one of these at one point in my life, but I just thought these were super cool. All of these pants that you guys are seeing, I didn't pay more than $4 for them because I only will buy denim when it's half off, because denim in my area, even when we were thrifting on the other side, is normally the most expensive item at the thrift store, besides like stuff they've marked up like leather jackets or stuff. So I always would do the half off. So this was $4 and gorgeous. So that's like 90s vintage. This is another piece of 90s vintage. I've showed this when I did my shorts. This pair of silver tab jeans. So if you see anything that says that there is new silver tab, because they brought it back because the 90s came back. So Lee was like, oh, let's bring back silver tab. Silver tab normally was a little bit looser fit, and it'll have silver tab somewhere on the thing. And also the actual Levi's tab will be silver. But I believe these are men's. This is a 34-32, so really good size. It has some wear here in the heel, but it's a vintage piece, so I'm not really worried about that. This next piece is a pair of Riders. This is high-waisted, so I was picking through any high-waisted items I could find. These, I believe, are, they look like they are maybe men's, or I don't know. I have to do some measurements on this. This looks like it's, I don't know, this says weird. It doesn't really seem to have a size tag, so I'll just have to do measurements on this. I think they're women's based on the back. So a lot of like vintage late 80s, early 90s stuff is going to have this really cool like detailing here on the back. So I think these are just a larger pair of women's jeans. But they're black and they're high-waisted AF, so they will sell. I will just have to make sure I put measurements on since there's not really a size anyway. And also for vintage jeans, I would recommend actually listing them by their waist size and not by whatever size that they say inside, because vanity sizing has changed a lot since the 80s and 90s. So I always post like it's a 26 waist or it's for the size instead of like a size 12, because a size 12 from the 80s is not going to fit a modern size 12. It's just, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it is, and everybody else, it's just not. So that's what I do that. So it's another pair of silver tab. These are extra baggy. Extra baggy. And these, I believe, 34. So really another good size. I just, like I said, if I saw silver tab, I was picking it up just because I know that it does still have a really good following. Now, this I actually had originally bought for myself. It's a pair of sweatpants, not denim. It's a size small Reebok sweatpants. I bought these for myself, but they're too short because I'm tall. They fit everywhere else, they're just too short. So I don't know what I'm gonna list those for, probably like 15 bucks. Everybody's wanting some comfy pants. These are a pair, this is actually a new to me brand. This is Nudie Jeans Co. I picked these up because I just thought they were really cool, like how they were sewn. I know they're wrinkly AF right now, so it's hard to see, but I thought this was really cool. This like little slit back here, that's purposeful. But these are a 27-32. These actually don't fit me because my butt's too big. They fit around the waist, they just do not fit my butt and my thighs. But I thought these were really pretty, and when I looked up comps, they actually seem to be pretty good. I have never heard of that brand before. It's called Nudie Jeans. This actually was in a video a long time ago, and I just never got around to listing it, even though it is, as you see, Arc'teryx. I have had, just like I had the Patagonia in the shorts video, I'm having, you know, high dollar money just chilling in my death pile. But these I could probably sell for like $40. But it's a pair of Arc'teryx men's. It's inseam, so they're 34-30s. But it's just a really good pair of hiking pants. They're just chilling in my death pile. And if you can't tell, I've been listing today. That's why I'm wearing my measuring tape scarf here. If you see me doing this, it's because I've been listing. This is another pair of vintage. This is actually vintage Gloria Vanderbilt from, I believe, the 80s. They had their own, like Gloria Vanderbilt had this brand, American Royal. That was their vintage brand then. These are definitely 80s. I mean, I love women's 80s pants just because they have this in the back. I love that so much. But these are high-waisted, they're purple. And again, this is a 12, guys. So this is what I was talking about before. So this is a women's 12 in the 80s. Like, this is not going to fit me. Another great way to tell if a pair of jeans is gonna fit you or not is to do this. See, I can already tell this is not going to fit me by this much. So if you ever are in a thrift store and you want to test if a pair of jeans or pants are gonna fit you, take it, put it on your back like a cape, and then try and tie it around your neck. If they don't touch, they're too small. If they do touch and they have like enough where you can like hold it together, you should try those on because chances are they're gonna fit. Or if you have like where it's this much extra, where you got like that much extra, they're gonna be too big. Just a quick tip for you. But they're pretty purple, and people who like purple stuff really like purple stuff. So I pick those up. Ooh, we got vintage Tommy. We got a pair of vintage Tommy Carpenter jeans with the lovely little flag back there. Tommy jeans. I think these are men's. Oh, nope, these are women's. Women's vintage Tommy. They're size 8. So these, again, we'll do this again. We do this. These would probably fit me because they touch. And actually, you know what? I'll try those on just to show you guys. I have another gorgeous pair of vintage women's. These are Jordake. Look at the back of this pair of denim. Look at it. Vintage 80s Jordake. So awesome. And I love that it has this like plaid waistband inside. These are absolutely amazing. They don't have a size in them, so I am going to have to measure these. I have a pair of 27 Stevie AG, so Adriana Goldschmied, mustard corduroy. This is the Stevie straight. I don't really like the way I look in yellow, or I would keep these. I have another pair of purple. These have a button fly. These are London. Again, even if the brand wasn't something that I was super familiar with, I was still going to purchase them if they were a vintage high-rise piece. And like every single one of these buttons says London on them, which I thought was super cool. If I turn this around and do the size thing, too small. But another pair of vintage purpley goodness for resale. And then I have a pair of Eddie Bauer vintage pants. This says it's a size 10. This is definitely not going to fit me. Again, this is why I recommend, instead of listing the number size when you get a pair of vintage denim, to list it by the waist size instead, because this is definitely not going to fit a size 10 lady. Maroon, and Eddie Bauer is a good brand anyway, so vintage Eddie Bauer will be even better. Another piece, this is fire. This is a pair of 32 vintage Tommy, and it has the spell out on the pocket. It has an interesting spell out here. It has the lovely flag loop for the carpenter loop, and then on the inside it has Tommy again. So a 32 with all of this obnoxious branding, and a size black. The color black. This is awesome. That's probably like $35–40. And then I have a vintage pair of Wranglers. These are larger, which is nice. It's really hard for me to find vintage denim in a larger size for my plus size ladies. But this is a pair of women's vintage Wrangler jeans. And as you can see here, guys, so this is what I was talking about these ones would be too big, because I've got like a handful here. So I'm gonna show you guys by trying on the other pair of vintage pants, so that way I can show you guys the ones that fit around here would probably also fit around here. So give me just a second. Okay, so as you guys can see, the ones that fit around my neck fit around my waist. It's squishing my butt uncomfortably though, because again, these are 90s pants, and that was before booty was accepted. Also, these have no stretch in them because, again, vintage denim. But that's one really good way for those of you that are thrifting, maybe out for yourself. Put it around your neck. If it fits around your neck and touches, chances are it'll fit around here and you'll be able to button it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will hopefully be getting this vintage goodness up before it cools off. And thank you guys for, again, hanging out with me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Bye.
Hero, 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 hero. I wanna be a hero, hero.